Hi, hello, and welcome to the Okayest Mom podcast. I'm your host, comedian Nicole Miller, who just happens to. Hi, hello. Welcome to the Okayest Mom podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Miller, comedian, who just happens to be the mother to three beautiful children. I'm so glad you're here. I started talking because I thought we were live and we were not. We were not. So what's happening right now is this is a live Facebook that will also go on all the podcatchers. So if you're catching this on a podcast, then obviously you're not live. So go find my Facebook page, Okayest Mom, and follow it, and then you can see when we're going to go live. Excuse me. You can see when I'm going to go live, and if you're here with me live, what happens is I'll ask questions, and you guys can participate, and the people who give me great feedback, I get to mention you on the podcast. So it's kind of a fun interactive thing on Facebook that you can listen to later or watch later. I'm just trying to be everything. We'll see how this goes. But first, before we get going, today what we're doing is a little different. Usually I talk about a mom who's not doing great so that you feel better about how great of a parenting job you're doing. But today I have found on the internet some people were asking some crazy questions about parenting, okay? These are actual parents, and they had these questions that I thought were they say there's no stupid question, but I'm wondering that they really were, they were making me rethink if that's even a thing. So when I saw those questions, I was like, oh, I bet I know a lot of people who are parents, and I bet you guys have gotten some crazy parenting advice. So a couple days ago, I posted that on the Facebook page, like, what is the worst parenting advice you got? And you guys understood the assignment, and you told me all the crazy advice. So we'll go over that today, the crazy advice you've gotten, and then I'll tell you these questions that I found on the internet. They're on the internet, but I'm going to believe they're real because they make me feel better about the job I'm doing parenting. And right now I'm home alone, so I feel like a really bad parent because I'm not even with my children right now, but they're with their Mimi and they're having a blast. So I guess I shouldn't feel too guilty. I didn't have a Mimi growing up, so they're pretty lucky. Okay, so before we get into all the horrible parenting advice, what's new with you guys? Anything? Let's see. I'm going to move it so I can see any comments and stuff. I think they're right over here. It's cool. I know we just popped on, so a lot of people might not be commenting yet. That's fine. Let me see about this. I'm going to see if I can also have it on my phone. I don't know if that'll help me see the comments. I've only done this a couple times, and I'm trying to do it a little different each time. Yeah. Oh. Joanna Baker's here. Hello, Joanna. If you guys need a, it says anniversary follower. I don't know what that means, Joanna, but thank you for being an anniversary follower. I guess that means you're celebrating an anniversary of following Okayest Mom. So that deserves a round of applause. She stuck around for more than a year. That's amazing. If you're in Tulsa, you need a realtor. She's helped me buy all my houses. Not that I have them now. I only have one house now. That sounded like I'm not rich. Okay. All right. So what's new with you guys? What's new with me is I am trying those dinner. I'm not saying it very well. It's called. I tried HelloFresh. And then I tried Dinnerly. I think they're called meal kits. That's what they are. So I did this horribly because I just tried it and I barely got pictures or video. I'm online. I should be videotaping my whole life, I guess. So I don't have too many references, but for video and photos and stuff. But I tried HelloFresh, and then I tried Dinnerly, and I was just trying to figure out, like, do I even like meal kits or whatever? So far, this is what I found. I'm poor. That's what I found out. Because each of the kits, they just, for me, they just cost too much. And I think for our family of 5, it's going to be more cost effective to just go ahead and, like, plan those meals. It'll be a little extra time. But the good thing is I did HelloFresh and Dinnerly, and how I did that is you can choose your meals, but I was like, that's the part I don't want. I don't want to think about what's for dinner. So just tell me what I'm making. And so they sent some really great things. Like, I really love the food. It's just, yeah, I don't think we're not a meal kit family. We don't make that kind of money, but, it was kind of fun while it lasted. I did HelloFresh first, so when Dinnerly came in the mail, how they do it is they just throw all of the things for all of the meals in the box. And if you didn't know, like HelloFresh, what they do is they have like a bag, and it's all for the one meal in a bag, and you pull it out, and they have a recipe card, and it's very easy to follow. Dinnerly was like, I'm just going to email you the recipes. So the first night at Dinnerly, I clicked on the link that they sent me for a recipe, and the link was broken. And then I was like, oh, I'll just log in. And for whatever reason, they said that the password, okay. It took me 30 minutes to find the recipe. And I was like, I should be done with dinner right now. So Dinnerly, I think it might be cheaper than HelloFresh, but I don't know. I was not very pleased with that. But then when I made the meals, Dinnerly had easier meals, and the cool thing with this is if you just know how to shop for groceries and stuff, you can go back into your grocery store and get the same things that Dinnerly sent you or HelloFresh sent you, and you can remake those meals. So the good thing is I think I got a couple more recipe ideas. I don't know if you guys do this, but I'm always just making food as a mom. And I get a little tired of making the same things all the time, and I just get in a rut. The other thing that I noticed with HelloFresh was they were like, this will take 20 minutes to prepare. Well, for me, it's a new recipe, so I'm always looking at the card and just double checking I'm doing it right. And so whatever time they said it would take, it always took twice as much for me. But at the end, there was one recipe, like, I was certain the kids were going to hate, and they just ate it up like some tortellini thing. And I'm always just making Italian with red sauce, so they showed me a different recipe with lemon. And oh man, I need to go find that recipe card, because that's the good thing with HelloFresh is now I have those recipe cards. I can just kind of make that on my own if I want to. I have to go actually shop and do all that. But so that's what's new with me. That and there's this show. I just posted today some more photos of this show I've been a part of. Not a huge part, but Oklahoma's getting some film projects, and I'm trying my best to get out there, whoever will have me. And so I've been having fun with that, and I've been posting those, so you'll have to go through and see. And my son too, I don't know if I put that on the comedy page, but he was in a couple episodes, not together this time. We're not in the same episode together, but it's been so fun just being on set. Like, when you're a kid and you think about, like, what's it like to be on a film set, and it's got to be like the most amazing thing in the world, but then to actually go and try it out, it's been kind of fun to do that. It's not like you think when you're a kid. It's definitely not. It's definitely a little more probably boring, I think, than everyone thinks, and lot of, well, depending on the set, maybe a little more downtime than you think, and you get bored, and then when it's time, you gotta whatever you're supposed to do. So it's a little stressful, but just having fun. So anybody doing anything today? It's Friday. Got big plans. Also, I like to ask what everyone's watching. I like to watch TV at night. Honestly, now it's like I'm in Oklahoma, so it's so hot. It is so hot. So honestly, after a certain point in the day, like if for some reason I have a down day and I don't have to leave, that's kind of, we're just home watching TV, and I know that's horrible, but I found a really cool show. I'm gonna, sorry, I gotta wipe my sweat. I'm in the non-air conditioned portion of our house because that's just where this is set up. It makes sense about 6 months out of the year, maybe. But I've got fans running. I hope it's not too bad. I've got the back door open. That's mainly for the dog. Because if she's not with me, she's going to make a lot of noise. But if she is with me and she has to go outside, she's going to make noise. So anyway, so that's that. So what are you guys watching? Joanna Baker says she's in the office right now waiting to take some calls. So call her if you want a house. This is a great time to buy a house. Just, you know, if you're moving from wherever you're moving, come move to Oklahoma, because that's what everyone else is doing. That's what I mean. So I'm watching some pretty great shows, and I discovered, if you have HBO Max, you can watch this. It's called The Rehearsal. It's a brand new show. And if you ever watched Nathan For You, he's a comedian, I think from Canada. I could be wrong about that. But I remember thinking Nathan For You is so great. He helped like real people, but they set it up for his comedy show. And something would always go wrong, right? Anyway, it felt like a prank show, but not. It was even more deep, because he would make the news because people wouldn't know that this was just a show. Anyways, so Nathan Fielder, Nathan For You, has The Rehearsal. And what he's done is, if you have a big thing coming up in your life and you want to do it right, but he sets it up for you just like it's going to be for that, whatever it is. And then so you can rehearse it before it actually happens. So they get the rehearsal on video, and then they get the actual thing on video, and it's pretty awesome. But season 1, episode 2 and 3, that's all that's out is season 1, and not even. I think they're putting out a new episode each week. So episodes 2 and 3, it doesn't look like it from their titles, so trust me. But they're about this young lady who wants to practice being a mom. As she's always, just kind of fantasized what it would be like. So I won't give too much, because I think you just, it's kind of like, it's not like hilarious, rolling on the floor with laughter every single moment with his stuff. It's just one of those, it's kind of meta. You just kind of have to watch it and realize just how funny and brilliant it was kind of at the end. It's kind of hard to explain. But he has set this lady up in a house, and they have to change out the actors that are acting like her child because of child labor laws, and they can't work after 7:30, so there's a robot baby, and it's I really enjoyed watching it, is all. And I thought, if you're a mom, you might enjoy that too. I can't remember. It might be a little bit inappropriate, like maybe it's TVMA. They might say words, that adult words and stuff. So if that's going to offend you, don't watch it. But I loved it. I really did love that show. So I thought maybe you guys would too. Are you guys watching anything? Let me see. We have some people watching with us. Hello, everybody. Hello. And there was a question, do I like HelloFresh? I know I probably went over that. I loved how everything tasted. I loved how it came in the mail. I just didn't love the price. So I'm just going to have to win the lottery, and then I can have somebody else, is it called? No, curate my meals for me. That's kind of what I used it for. So, let's look at what's in the news. I was pretty sad to hear this. I don't know if you heard it too. I'm still trying to finish breakfast. I know it's noon. Did you guys hear? Skittles are toxic. And I just found out that in some countries they don't even allow Skittles. They're like outlawed. So here's the story. It's from an actual news site, so reputable. A lot of times I'll get these stories and it's not any news site at all. It's like off of Reddit. Just some random person posted it. But this, unfortunately, is news from Oakland, California. I found this on the Fox 23 news site. That's a local news channel. So I guess there's a lawsuit in California saying that Skittles are too toxic to eat, which that's very scary. Okay, so they're saying it has a heightened level of titanium dioxide. So that's also TiO2, of course, you know. I don't know. I actually don't know what that is. It's some kind of additive in food. And, oh, here was the problem. Somebody bought some Skittles and then they were like reading the back, and that's not listed. Or if it was listed, he couldn't read it because of the red packaging. Huh. So Mars, which is I guess the company that owns Skittles, they didn't say anything yet, so I guess we'll have to wait. So here's the scary thing about titanium dioxide. It's used in paints and like glue and plastic. Let me see. Hold on. I've got a bag of Skittles here. Let me see. Let me see if I taste plastic. I don't know. They just taste like the rainbow, right? I don't taste any titanium dioxide. I wonder if it's really in there, though. It's really scary to think about that. And can we just make it without it, you know? Is there something else? Cornstarch. I don't know. Something more natural. I think they taste good. They do taste a little fake. So maybe that's it. Okay, Skittles. I just don't think it's going to be very healthy to eat plastic. So, are you guys going to stop giving your kids Skittles? Or before we know it, Halloween's going to be here. Are you going to hand out Skittles to all the kids? I don't know. I think they're outlawed in like Europe somewhere. But honestly, I saw that in a TikTok, so I have no idea if that's true. All right, so Skittles are now off the table, I guess. Oh, it says that they are going to try to do a find an alternative to titanium dioxide. It says, the European Commission has been working to ban titanium dioxide over a 6-month phasing out period, which started in February. And it's supposed to end now, actually, like in 2 days. So we'll see. We'll see if they figured that out. Please, we need to save Skittles. Actually, they're not like my favorite thing, but I like them. They even taste good now. I thought they were great. Did you guys see this? This was so cute. This was in, this was like one of the Yahoo News things. It says a 1 in 30 million rare lobster was spared from the steamer after a Red Lobster employee discovers her in the shipment. And I see here, I don't know if I can post this on our little live feed. Let's see. Oops. Oh dear. Oh dear. I pressed the wrong thing. I'm going to try it, and then if it doesn't work, I'm going to give up completely. Not really completely. Okay, I posted something, I thought. So maybe it popped up. So this is the rare lobster, and I guess I'm just really impressed by this Red Lobster employee that they looked at this lobster and knew, like, this is a rare lobster. I don't think I would know. But I guess if you're around lobsters all the time and you can kind of see, oh, this one doesn't quite look right. So in Hollywood, Florida, Red Lobster found a lobster in their food shipment that stopped them in their tracks. They call him Cheddar. He's 1 in 30 million. Let's see what's different with this one. Like I said, I think I posted a little link to the story, but I'm going to be honest, Facebook hates me lately. Some weird things have been happening when I try to do things on Facebook. Let's see. So there's also a picture of Mario, the manager who led Cheddar's rescue. Like, what did you guys do? Did you just throw him back in the ocean or what? Oh, here it is. Most lobsters have a dark exterior with hues of mainly browns and grays and some undertones of red, but Cheddar is a bright orange color. So he's orange. It's like a shiny Pokemon. If you play Pokemon, probably no one gets that reference. Since their bold coloring makes them attractive to predators, these unique lobsters rarely survive in the wild. Aww. So they're too pretty and attract too many predators. Oh, that's so sad. As soon as the team at Red Lobster spotted this marvel, they went to work trying to keep her off the dinner plate. Searching for a place where she could be safe and shared with the world instead. Okay, so what happened? Oh, Ripley's Aquarium of Myrtle Beach, I think is where. Oh, Ripley's Aquarium sent 2 members of their husbandry team to South Florida, and they carefully packed up Cheddar and drove her to the Ripley's Marine Science Center in Myrtle Beach. She got quarantined. We all know about that. She got quarantined, and then she'll, I guess, join the Ripley's Believe It or Not crew, because 1 in 30 million, yeah, she needs a special place. That was such a heartwarming story. Mostly I was just like, how in the world? How in the world did they notice this lobster? See, I think I would have, obviously if the coloring is different, I think I would have been like, oh, this is different, but I don't know if I would have thought this is, so unique and rare that we need to alert Ripley's Believe It or Not. I would have just been like, maybe it was in a different part of the ocean and didn't get as much sun or got too much sun, or I don't know. I'm just amazed. Red Lobster. I guess they hire some really smart people there. This was kind of a downer. I'm sorry I put this in here, but I'm concerned. According to NPR or KOSU.org, once again, these are all like Oklahoma places. Sorry, guys. Our beloved monarch butterflies are endangered. So, watch out for butterflies. I don't think anyone's going around killing butterflies, though, right? Better not be. Now they're endangered. I don't know what that means. Is if you kill one. I mean, I know what endangered means. I just don't know what that means for us. Like, don't go killing butterflies. We have a state fair in my city every year, and they always have this cute little butterfly exhibit where you can walk in. It's like it's like screened in, so the butterflies don't go anywhere, but you can walk in and like the butterflies will land on you and you can hold them, and it just made me think of that. I hope our little butterfly exhibit still comes around next month. Let's see. What does this say? I don't want to read the whole thing to you guys because that sounds boring. So, this scientist estimates that the population of monarch butterflies he studies in the eastern United States has declined between 85 and 95% since the 90s. Oh my. I wonder why it is. Let's see. Anything else interesting in this article that you guys need to know? Oh, then I don't know why, but it says that tigers, the tiger population has increased. Maybe this is the butterfly effect, people. Butterflies are leaving so the tigers can live on. I don't know. That's probably not true. Do not take that to the bank. This is, we'll just say this is like our candy and our animal episode for news stories. Because did you guys hear that Hershey's is behind on their candy? So they're not going to be making any special Halloween candy. They're going to make their regular candy. They said, we can do the regular. And this is what they said. I'm not going to read it to you. I found this on, it's called 12 on Your Side. It's like a local news, but not here. I don't know. Local to somebody. 12 on Your Side, 26. I don't know. I'm so sorry. WRDW.com. News 12, NBC 26. There it is. So they said Hershey's just going to make regular candy, and here's the problem. When the pandemic started, everybody ate way more candy than usual. And I just feel like we deserve a hand. That's the way. That's the way you deal with a pandemic, is through chocolate therapy, right? So they said people are eating all this chocolate, and so they can't make any of the special Halloween chocolate. But they're going to keep making just the regular stuff. So I don't know. I'll go to the store. I'll see. There's usually like a bag, right? Like a bag of small Hershey bars or something. Valerie asks if she counts as a mom if she only has dogs. And I think yes. I have my dog here, and you might hear her every once in a while. She sometimes is more annoying than a child. And, you know, she needs somebody. That's in our kids. Our kids need somebody, and they're annoying. So I think dogs count. They definitely... I know I had dogs before kids, and they sort of prepared me. People said that would prepare you, but mostly prepared. It's a little different, I'm going to be honest. It was a little different having kids because my dog I can put in a kennel and a box for hours at a time, and she loves it. She's great. But my kids don't like that, so. I'm just kidding. I'd never put my kids in a kennel. Sometimes they put themselves in a kennel, but hey. They're kids. They're going to do weird things. So that was our news story, and I'm glad Valerie's here. Yeah, stay here, Valerie. I'm sure you'll get something out of this about, we'll be talking about parenting, but you can be thinking about like, okay, if my dog ever asks me this question, this is what I'm going to do. So I did ask everybody what was the worst parenting advice they got. Let me see. I asked it on Wednesday, so I'm going to come down and see what we said. There was some pretty crazy things. I know I didn't tell you guys this advice personally, but I feel like you need a formal apology. That somebody said things to you that were just kind of crazy. Okay. Well, here's the thing about just unsolicited advice in general. It's so annoying. I so try not to do that. The only people I give unsolicited advice to are my actual sisters, and I'm sure they get annoyed by it. But I just feel like, okay, I'm the older sister. I've already gone through this, so I should just tell them things. So I don't know. They might hate me for it. Who knows? I try not to give like too much. One thing about giving advice is like you're basically saying, oh, I can tell by looking at you, you'll never understand this or get this. You need to know this from me because you're so stupid, right? That's kind of the feeling I get when someone gives me unsolicited advice. But this one threw me. This is on, like I said, this is on my page, Okayest Mom. I posted this a couple days ago, and people replied what was the worst advice they were given. And Amy posted that someone told her it's not appropriate for kids to do housework. And for whoever said that, you are missing out, because kids can really help with housework. And if you start teaching them when they're little, then by the time they get older, they might actually do a good job. Like right now, if someone comes into my house, it's going to be very obvious. They might even say like, oh, it looks like your kids cleaned. And that's true, because they did. That's kind of the look of my house right now. But eventually they're going to get better at cleaning. I have a 16-year-old, and I feel like she does a way better job than the 6-year-old, okay? So I understand, like, it's hard when they're little, but just, unfortunately, you have to just let them do it, show them what didn't quite work, and then maybe do it after they go over after they're done. It's more work that way. But then when your kid grows up and they leave the house, then they can maybe take care of their house a little better. That we'll see if that works, because none of my kids have left this house yet. So that's just a theory. Oh, Gina, hello. If you watch this later. Gina was told that she has to give her kids a sibling to play with. And I said, Gina, there are other kids in this world. They can play with those kids, all right? They don't have to have a sibling. And here's the thing with advice, when you're telling a parent, like, it has to be one way. It does not have to be one way. You do you. You can be different than everybody else. And your child, as long as you give that child, like, love, I think. Love, acceptance, I think they're going to turn out great. Christina, hi, if you see this later. She's not on now, but she posted, somebody actually told her this, and it's perfect because we're eating candy and talking about candy right now. It says, give your kids as much candy as they want. Then they will crash and actually sleep. There are more healthy ways to do this. I cannot believe somebody told her this. And I asked Christina, I was like, oh, have they met kids? And she said that this lady had kids who told her that. So, you know what? That's what you got to do with your kids. You know your kids. If I give my kids sugar near bedtime, it's going to take a while. That sugar just is going to wind them up. They're not going to go to sleep right away. I guess this lady, I don't know, what is she doing that her kids need all that sugar to go to bed? Maybe it'd be healthier just, let your kids run around your backyard. If you don't have that, take them to a park, run around there. And if they don't have sugar beforehand, maybe they'll sleep even better because they don't have anything to run off, and they're already all runned out. That's what I try to do in the summertime. It's been so hot though. Instead of running the kids around, I just take them to, we have a pool close by that we go to, and just let them swim for hours, at least a couple hours, and then I don't have to deal with the kids. That's how I parent. Just run them out. They have sugar, just not a lot of sugar. Let me see. Oh, I guess some people posted. I didn't see it yet. Let's see. A lot of on here was about like how to feed your child. That's such a personal decision, people. Like, moms are going to figure out the feeding. That's going to be our first thing when we have a baby. Obviously, if they're having trouble breastfeeding and you need to do a bottle every once in a while, that's on the mom, I think. And I don't know if you need to just offer that advice, but if a mom asks for advice, like, that's great. Give them advice. Make sure you feed that baby. So whether it's breastfed or not, like, a lot of people have opinions about that. It's my baby. Leave me alone. Somebody said that their baby had an allergic reaction, and somebody told them to bathe them in Head and Shoulders. And I forgot to ask if it worked. Here, I'll ask now. They probably won't see it till after this broadcast. I never heard that. Head and Shoulders. That's like dandruff, right? I would think like a oatmeal bath or something. I feel like we did that for chicken pox or something. Oh man, I am really showing my age. Let's see. This sounds really, really bad. Somebody told Keisha to have her kids kneel in the corner on raw rice while holding a book over their head. I don't get it. Oh, and a lot of people were talking about crying, letting your baby cry themselves to sleep. I did this method. It's called Ferber, but I want to say I read a book about it, at least an article, and I think it's gotten some bad, I don't think everyone understands it, because the method does say to listen to the cry. If it changes, like, you can tell as a mom, you can change, oh, that's a pain cry, that's a painful cry, so I need to go check on that baby. And there's a certain amount of time. I think depending on how old they are, you just give them that amount of time to cry, and then if they're still crying, you go to them. When my oldest kids were little bitty babies, I actually had an upstairs. They stayed in the upstairs when they were a certain age. I don't know, 3-4 months old or something. So I just kind of ended up Ferberizing them, just because I'd wake up, I'd hear them. Oh, I got to go get the baby. And then it would just take me so long. By the time I got upstairs, they'd be back asleep. I think it's probably better for the baby and for you that you don't hold them all the time. My youngest, he was just down the hall from me. We were in a different house, and I feel like I probably held him way too much. It was probably great for him. It wasn't so good for me. I didn't sleep very well for a while. So that's the worst parenting advice you guys have ever gotten. Man, doesn't it make you feel like a good mom? Like, they probably told you that before you even knew, before you really had much time being a parent, and be like, oh, I didn't know about that. Now you know. Maybe you're not as bad of a parent as you think you are. Let's see. Here are some crazy questions I found. This is okay. We'll start kind of slow here. Not slow, just not as bad. This is a question. A real mom posted this to, I want to say, Quora. That's a website a little like Reddit, and people just ask advice. She says, what if I don't give my newly born daughter a name for fear of giving her one she won't like, instead preferring to involve her in the process of choosing a name later? All right, people. She wants to know, does she have to name her own daughter? I mean, I'm not the best mom. I'm not the worst mom, but at least I named my children. This is what I say. What do you guys say? I say, name them, and then if they don't like it, they can change it later. Okay? Oh, guess what? Valerie is also an anniversary follower, which I guess that means she's been here for more than a year. I actually don't know, but congratulations, Valerie, on being an anniversary follower. And she does not like Skittles, so she's safe from the, I think we said it was titanium dioxide is what the article said. Oh, well. I mean, I like them. I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't kill me. What doesn't kill me makes me stronger, right? So somebody actually asked, should they name their child? And I'm sure people wrote answers and stuff, but when I gave birth, it was like the next day or something, they gave me this form to fill out, and I had to put a name on it. And that's for like, this is in the States, so I don't know about other countries because I've never given birth in Europe or anything. But you got to have a name to get like on your Social Security and get all of that paperwork so you're official. So, pretty crazy, right? I don't think I ever would have thought, no, don't name your own baby. So here's another one. It's a little bit more intense. It says, this is another one of those where it's a question on Quora, and this is an actual parent looking for actual parenting advice, and they actually asked this question. My 18-year-old son continues to play video games even after I smashed his laptop and deleted his Steam account. I don't know what that is, but I'm guessing it has something to do with video games. How can I permanently put an end to his gaming? Yeah. An actual parent said that their adult son is gaming and they smashed their laptop. I'm kind of surprised that that parent's not in jail, because once your kid turns 18, they're not a kid anymore legally. You just can't do stuff like that. I see so many parents doing that. I don't understand. As soon as I turned 18, my parents were like, you're 18. They let me stay at the house until I could figure everything out, which was great. Didn't take me long. And then, yeah, they just kind of stopped. They just stopped, I don't know, caring? I don't know. But I can understand if your 18-year-old doesn't have a job and they're playing video games all day, you can deal with that a different way, all right? You don't have to make them completely stop gaming. I don't think there's anything wrong with gaming, just as long as you don't do that 24/7. Unless you're getting paid. If you're getting paid to game all day, sure, whatever. But your 18-year-old, you start charging them rent, and if they can't pay, then you got to evict them. That's how that works. And if they're playing video games all day and not getting paid for it, then they probably can't afford their rent. So right now, my 16-year-old, she's got a job. And we've been telling her, you gotta make money. This is how the world works. And we want her to get this job at 16 because it's not going to be her dream job, right? It's going to motivate her to go to learn things at school, something she's more interested in, and get an even better job that she likes even more and it pays more. So there we go. This one is an actual question on Quora from a parent. They actually asked this question, and I always have to, preface this. It's on the internet, so some people just post crazy stuff that's not real, but I want to believe this is real. I want to believe it. It says, I went into my 10-year-old's room and found something called Pez. I'm worried she got a hold of drugs. What should I do? So, you might not be the best mom, you might not be the worst mom, but at least you're not freaking out that your 10-year-old is on drugs because they found Pez in her room. Come on. I want to say, for that person who thinks there's drugs in your 10-year-old's room because you found Pez, I just taste it and see what happens. I mean, maybe it is drugs. Anyways, my life is the Pitts family just joined us. Hey. And they suggested for the Pez lady, Google Pez. Yeah, that's a great suggestion. If you're not sure what's in your kid's room, Google that before you look crazy. I'm wondering, did they sit down and have like an intervention, like a Pez intervention with the 10-year-olds? Like, we love you, but we need to talk about this Mickey Mouse dispenser of Pez. This one is pretty interesting, and it's not actually advice that somebody asked, but a babysitter posted, I believe, on Reddit to see, have you seen, there's this whole group on Reddit called Am I the A-hole? So you can see, like, is it me or is it them? So a babysitter calls the cops on a mom who fails to show up, and so the cops have to take the children. So at first, that sounds pretty bad. It's like, is the babysitter overreacting? What happened? I had to read this, and it's one of those articles with all of the clickbait, so it's taking forever just to scroll through it. So what happened was, she got to the mom's house at 6, and she said that she had to leave at 9 for plans. She had plans, so it was just the 6 to 9 was the agreement. And she had even, brought stuff to the house. She was going to, I guess, put the kids to bed and then get ready for her plans. So at 9, the mom did not come home. So she says what she did was call the mom. Perfectly reasonable. She texted the mom. After an hour, she still heard nothing. So she's still calling and texting. And then it's midnight. So 3 whole hours late. It's a bit much. I've been this mom, not the 3 hours late, but I've been the mom who, seriously, I planned everything out. I thought for sure I'm going to get my kids at a certain time. But I try to update the people as soon as I know. As soon as I know, oh, I screwed up. This movie's 30 minutes longer than I thought, or whatever. So after midnight, she decided if the mom doesn't show up, she was going to call the police. So what she does is she actually calls the mom and leaves a voicemail saying, hey, get home in an hour. So at midnight, an hour, that's 1 a.m., and she was supposed to be home at 9. She tells them, I'm going to tell the cops you abandoned them. Abandoned your kids. So she's calling her for 30 minutes. No, 30 minutes later. So now I'm guessing it's 12:30. I've got a little bit lost on the time. It's either 12:30 or 1:30, depending on how I'm reading this. So she texts her again, and then she calls the cops. and told the cops, hey, here's proof. She said 9 p.m. It's whatever time is. I don't think they ever confirm. If I'm reading this right, it was probably after 1 a.m. So when you just hear the babysitter called the cops, you might think, oh man, that babysitter is a little crazy. But you're supposed to be home at 9 and it's 1 a.m. There's definitely a problem. At 3 a.m., the mom calls the babysitter. And she's wanting to know where the kids are and where she is. So the mom says she's home by 9, but she gets home at 3 a.m. That's pretty excessive there. That's pretty excessive. And that's deliberate, I believe. And as a mom, I totally get it. Like, sometimes you just don't want to go home. I get it. You're having fun. You got a babysitter. You think all's good. But you got to check that phone, girl. You got to check your phone. So what do you think? You think the babysitter did the right thing? Or you think the babysitter kind of, I don't want to say went crazy, but it's pretty big to be like, ooh, I'm calling the cops on you. I did a lot of babysitting as a 16-year-old, and I just can't imagine doing that. But if I had made it clear I need to leave at 9 and it was 10, I would have been pretty upset too. My goodness. I'm just glad I'm not a 16-year-old babysitter right now. These parents staying out till 3 a.m. Nope. I don't think I could do it. Could you guys stay out till 3 a.m. as a mom? It's been a long time since I've been able to do that. I bet she had fun though. And I think I want to say that she got her kids back and everything's okay, but my goodness. Oh, and here's our last one. This will be the last one. This is another one of those, am I the a-hole? So what happened was a wife ditched her husband because he doesn't wake up for the family zoo trip. But here's the thing. Like I said, I'm not going to read this whole thing to you. I found this on cafemom.com, and I believe they took it from a Reddit feed. So they're supposed to get up at 6:30 for a zoo day, 6:30 a.m. on the weekend. I don't think so. I think that's part of your problem there. I get it. You want to get to the zoo and get home, I guess. I don't know. So this mom got 5 children ready for the zoo as her husband slept. That would have made me very irate. This is the thing. We need to take, you got to, when you have a partner and you have all these kids, you got to take turns with sleeping in and stuff. Obviously, it was nobody's turn to sleep in if they're getting ready to go. They were going to meet up with family at the zoo. So her alarm went off at 6:30, so she went and did everything herself. Her husband just slept, and I don't know if his alarm didn't go off, he didn't set it or what. And so when it was time to go, he was still asleep. And so she just went to the zoo, and he woke up at 10:15 and called her and was like, hey, where are you? And then I believe, let's see, he got mad. He was mad. He was the mad one. He's like, why didn't you wake me up? And she was just like, because you're an adult and you have an alarm clock. I don't understand how he slept through all that. 5 kids getting ready for the zoo. It must have sounded like a zoo in their house. Like, how did he not wake up? So she's talking with her husband, and she's at the family trip at the zoo, so her mom's there, and I think like some, the sisters, so like the kids' aunts and uncles are there. And so this wife's mom was there, and she was just like, you're a grown man. I'm sure she appreciated her mom helping her out. So the wife had a blast with her kids, her parents, her sisters, and her nephew. So she was just like, hey, you knew the plan, and you slept in. So, but what do you guys think? Do you think she should have woke him? I think the problem was, and like I said, I'm just skimming through this article because I don't want to read it word for word, but I think the problem was this was something that happened often, and they were working on it. And apparently the next day, he got up and was a dad without being told. So it has a happy ending. And she didn't have to tell him to be a dad that day. He took the kids out for breakfast, let her sleep in. Let's see. Yep. Nancy is on, and she's like, nope, if we're getting up at 6:30 for a zoo day, we're all getting up at 6:30. Yeah, she set her alarm clock, and I guess he didn't set his, or something like that. And I can't sleep. If somebody's alarm clock's going off, I'm just up. So I don't understand that. And I can definitely understand how he wakes up and they're gone. I can see how he'd feel a little bit like, why'd you leave me? But also, I get it. She's done. She's done with this. So I kind of get everybody's side to it. But like I said, it ended well for her, because I think he learned. I need to take care of myself. As a mom, you got 5 kids. You don't need to be worrying about one other person who's perfectly capable of taking care of themselves. Like, you need a partner, not another child. Like, that's not on me to help you get dressed and get up and eat. Like, that's on you. We do this together. So I get it. All I can say after reading that is, I'm so thankful I don't have 5 children. I bless your heart, lady. And I'm imagining they're all very young. And I'm so sorry. I have 3, and it is plenty. I have so much joy in my life and so much sweat because of being in this non-air conditioned room. Thank you guys for joining me today for the Okayest Mom podcast live on my Facebook page. I'll post again whenever we're going to do it. My schedule is crazy, so I'll just post it when I can do it, and please pop in if you can. I loved it. Everybody who popped in, thank you so much. Really added a lot to the podcast. You can catch this later on any of your podcatchers like Spotify or Apple Music, or just watch it again live if you want to. Share it with your friends. Be like, hey, I was part of this really interesting experimental podcast. So if you're listening to this on Apple Music or Spotify or other podcatchers, then look up Okayest Mom Facebook. I'll see if I can get that link in the show notes. And then you can be a part of our live show next time. You guys, I'll see you next time, and have a great weekend. I'm the Okayest Mom, Nicole Miller.